This is not good. Worlds are colliding.
We were smart enough to not say, Houston, there's a light out there that's following us.
And what the hell is that? You know, what is that? And I couldn't even talk. I was just amazed at what I was seeing.
This is the Beast of the Week podcast.
All right, we're ready. And he's bringing an episode of Beast of the Week. I can't do it.
This is awesome.
No, I can't just come up with a cake song off the top of my head.
Hey, here we are.
Here we
introducing another episode of Beast of the Week. Hey! Here we are.
This is the Beast of the Week tribute to the band Cake. Welcome. That's a good trumpet noise from your mouth, I gotta admit.
Thank you.
Welcome to another episode of the Beast of the Week podcast. I'm John Cannon.
On the Beast of the Week podcast.
Bold claim to just say that in the intro. That's like,
no, it's all right. Let's
drums.
Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's all define ourselves as rip-offs from another podcast. So, Joey, who are you?
Rob Schneider.
That's not a podcast.
No, he might be.
Well, hello there.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rob Schneider, a podcast about Bob Schneider, Mob Schneider's uncle.
Oh, nice. The Mob Schneiders. I'm
Mob
my
Schneiders.
brother and me.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm my beast in me. Because we're Beast of the Week. You said...
Now, everybody knows you are my favorite murder. Shut up.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm saying...
My Favorite Murder, the podcast.
How are you doing? It's Pod Safe America. I don't listen to that. I don't even know. I just figured anything serious doesn't make any sense.
Hello, it's me, the No Sleep podcast.
Hello there, I'm Goosebuds.
Hey, it's WTF with Mark Marin. Drink the coffee I sell.
Hi, I'm NPR now.
Hello, Marcus. Hello, NPR.
Hello and welcome to Critical Role. It's me, Critical Role.
It's me, Critical Role.
All right, everybody, you're welcome for your free shout-outs on the podcast that were better than you.
I don't really listen to a whole lot of Australian people doing podcasts. Now I think about it.
Why are you bringing up Australia?
Yeah, Joe, why are you bringing Australia into this?
Well, you see, sometimes when my mind wanders...
Why are you Australian on this thought?
They have funny accents.
Well,
they have dignified accents. We respect our Australian brothers. We love you.
Amen.
I'm watching a lot of Flight of the Conchords to prepare for this episode.
You're going to get a lot of people mad.
That's fine.
For that one. They are actually
from New Zealand.
From the ocean. New Zealand isn't real.
I know they're from Lord of the Rings.
All right, Joe mentioned Australia because we're covering... I think we've hit every continent now. We're covering... No, South America's still on the list. No, Chon.
Chon. We got them all, baby.
Our final populated continent to be covered, Australia. So I kind of...
Nice.
Let's get dramatic with this opening. Are you ready?
My favorite place to start Risk.
Someone lay down some dramatic music for me. Australian style. Australian style. Didgeridoo. Australia, for those of us not from there, seems to be full of real-life monsters that are equipped to murder us at the drop of a hat. So it's only natural they have one of the scariest and most mysterious creatures I've learned of yet. The Bunyip. Before Australia was touched by European influence, the Aboriginal people told legends of an elusive, semi-aquatic beast. Its roar could be heard for miles. It dwelt in the waters they would like to fish in. Who can it be now?
Can it be now?
I'm trying to tell you who it could be now. The beast was held in an awe-filled, fearful respect. The actual descriptions vary for a number of reasons. For one thing, the beast is rarely seen outside the water, leaving speculation to the bodily attributes.
Ooh.
After European researchers learned of the bunyip, the term eventually became used for any sort of undiscovered and estranged animal, and actually eventually turned into, like, calling someone out in society. They had a term called the bunyip aristocracy, meaning you're just trying to be fancy over there, you fake Kardashians.
Yeah.
Despite this, the legend persists.
Victorians.
Well, one of the eggs you're not supposed to live on in Great Gatsby. Despite this, the legend persists, holding a similar level of cryptozoological importance as the Bigfoot, Nessie, or the Makola Mbembe. The bunyip, as mentioned, is a semi-aquatic creature, particularly known to inhabit Lake George and Lake Bathurst. Interestingly, hotspots for other cryptid sightings, such as the Queensland tiger and the yowie.
Isn't that just God?
That's Yahweh.
That's Yahweh.
The yowie is God. The thing is, to some people, probably. These regions are also particularly sacred to the Aboriginal people.
A quick image search will show that there isn't a whole lot of consensus on what the bunyip looks like.
What the bunyip?
What the bunyip looks like. So
What
we're
the
going.
Bunyip?
What the bunyip?
What the bunyip, guys?
Hey, what the bunyip, bud?
So we are going to cover a few interpretations here for it, everybody in the audience. Clap, 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 clap in
now.
your cars.
Clap
but
now.
Still drive.
Don't drive. Stop.
Stop that.
Now I'm gonna
Burn your
off.
registration. Cut up your license.
Go off the grid.
Take off your plates. It's just a tracking system.
Sell your tires.
Eat people. The earliest European record of the bunyip is recorded from one George French.
George French.
The earliest European
Wasn't
records
that
of
the
the
name
bunyip.
Bubbles gave the cougar in that episode of I
think so.
Trailer Park Boys?
French?
George French. Something like
French.
that. The
From
cougar
one-
that ate all the weed.
Oh, you ate all it up.
What a good show.
From one George French Angus, a man who spent his life
Powerful
painting
name.
and exploring Australia. This description
was that?
may have come Australia.
Australia.
Australia. This description may have come sometime before 1847 from the Marundi people. And here we go with another great accent. He's much dreaded by them.
Sam, I'm pretty sure the Aboriginal people didn't have European Australian accents.
Shut up. I'm not going to do that accent then.
This is from the records of George French Angus.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but where's
In the
it from?
words,
Oh, good point. He probably would have read it. The audiobook would have sounded like this.
It would have.
yeah.
Good point. Sorry.
In the,
Sorry.
I mean, shit. If the HBO show Chernobyl can have all British people, I can fucking do this in an Australian accent.
HBO doesn't need more criticism at this dire time.
1847. Did they have Australian accents, or
Actually-
was that just still like the Brits?
Yeah.
It was probably Boston accents, honestly.
Probably.
It's Boston accent.
All right, do it in a Boston accent.
An entire continent of Boston
Yeah,
accents.
all
What a
Boston accents.
nightmare.
It was much fucking dreaded by them and inhabitants in Murray, but they have some difficulty describing it. Its most usual form, it is said to be out of an enormous fucking starfish.
That honestly sounded like the blend between an Australian
Yeah.
and a Boston accent.
Yeah.
You have a future in this,
is
Sam.
legit. This description never really shows up again, so who knows what the fuck he was talking about.
An enormous starfish.
Fiercely.
An enormous fucking starfish, Joey.
Ked.
It was a baby fucking whale. Most commonly,
That sounds more plausible than a giant starfish.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true, especially in Lake George at the time.
Yes.
Most commonly, the features that were reported in the 19th century newspapers give it a dog face, a crocodile-like head, dark fur, a
Is it
horse
like the long head
tail.
of a crocodile with just a pug face on the snoot?
I feel like it's a crocodile.
It's like
Crocodile.
a crocodile from like one of those old cartoons that like ran into.
Oh, we got hit by a frying pan?
Yeah, and it's just
Then he walks away and it accordions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hanna-Barbera.
Interesting.
No problem. It's me, Hannah. They get a crocodile-like head, dark fur, a horse-like tail, flippers, walrus-like tusks, or even a duck-like bill.
Ooh,
I
fancy.
like my ducks with tusks.
Bill. That was for the radio show.
Ducks with tusks.
Ducky Ducky Bill, y'all.
Ooh.
Ducks. Wait, no, that's something that like news people should say before they go on air.
What?
Ducks with tusks.
Ducks with tusks.
Ducks with tusks. Ducks with tusks.
So,
Ducks with tusks.
some
Ducks
sort.
with tucks. Nope. Tucks
This is the
with
rest of the
fucks.
episode.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna make this.
We're just
So-
inventing tongue twisters.
Did you know that some sources actually say there's 2 different kinds of bunyips?
I didn't.
I don't
With
think so.
60% resembling seals or swimming dogs. That
I
sounds
didn't.
cute. 20% long-necked creatures with small heads, and the
I
remaining
didn't.
20% were too vague to say.
I didn't.
I
Wow.
did not
So
Sam
more you
didn't.
learn.
Who do know?
No.
Who do know?
Do
The
anyone
seal-
here know?
No.
No.
Not me.
I do know that the seal dog variety has a seal-like head and body, is about 4 to 6 feet long. That's a pretty long dog. Pretty big dog.
Average human, though.
Average
Yeah.
human, pretty big dog.
Hard flex on dogs.
Yeah, it's really roughing up those dogs, huh? I mean, I've seen Hunter get to about 4 feet, so
Wow.
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 I had to mention them, or else it wouldn't be an episode of the Beast of the Beak podcast.
That's true. It has shaggy black or brown hair with shining eyes and prominent ears, but this one has no tail. So it
Speak of.
kind of just sounds like, a seal.
I've never seen a fuzzy seal.
Yeah, harbor seals.
Yeah.
Not harbor seals, Arctic seals. The ones that are all
Shut-
puffy and white when they're
Shut
babes.
your mouth. It's
they're
Australia.
so
It's not
cute.
Arctic.
Well, Sam, they got snow some places. It's close to Antarctica.
So
I don't
far from the Arctic.
know enough to dispute you, but I think you're a liar.
All I know is that in the Tasmanian tiger, there's a skiing level.
That's true.
That's
True.
Tasmania.
They have seasons and they have mountains. Just want to point that out.
They have opposite seasons from us.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have Christmas in July every year.
Well,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, it's Christmas in December, but it's July weather.
Are we?
Do you think their cartoon specials like mid-July when for some reason they want to play the Christmas specials because they have nothing fucking better to do? They just do Christmas in December
No.
What?
cuz it's like cold in July.
I think it's one of those things that it's a forever thing. When it's going to be December, it's going to be warm. I think they just don't do what we do.
They probably have like their own special Christmas specials that are hot and sunny and beachy.
Places are different, Sam.
That sounds
Thanks for
fucking
listening to the
great.
Beast of the Week speculates about Australia.
I've never been to Australia, so I can't tell.
All
what
it is
they
is
do.
speculation.
Yeah,
So-
honestly, it might as well be like fucking Gary Jules' Mad World over there.
The long-necked variety of
sad.
these boys, these sightings of these boys, is said to be between 5 and 15 foot long. What?
I'm not done talking about Australia. Why are their beers so big?
You need a big.
Why is Foster's gigantic and our
Listen.
beers are small?
Australia is the Texas of Britain. That's just all there is to it. That's why their beers are so big. It's like Lone Star.
Shit, you're right. And Lone Star is standard size, but yeah.
And New Zealand's like the Puerto Rico of Britain.
Oh, shit. Does that make Daddy Yankee like the Flight of the Conchords of us?
Yes.
Wow.
I think I have to cut after a certain point there.
I don't know where Daddy Yankee's from, but I think it might be Puerto Rico.
I think
gonna-
he's
it's go-
Dominican.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's
Toss
Dominican.
it up there.
It's a big guess and it's a bold
Nope,
guess.
nope. Puerto
Colombia.
Rican.
Really?
You can keep that in.
Hey!
Keep that in. That's legit.
Gasoline.
The long-necked variety of these boys or sightings of boys is between 5 and 15 feet long. with black or brown fur, so that's the same. With the head like a horse or an emu. An emu.
Emus.
An emus.
Wait, Toria, what? A head like a what?
A huss.
No, a head like a what?
A head like a horse.
Fuck me.
Or a what?
An emu? Yeah, it's just Gerard Way's head.
Yeah,
No.
they're all not okay. Every Bunyip is not okay.
I was sitting on my porch trying to learn for this episode, and in the distance from my neighbor, like 2 streets over, all I hear is the mangled couple first notes to Welcome to Black Parade. They couldn't figure out the third note for the life of them. For 20 minutes, I just sat there being like, Sam's here.
Yeah.
Sam's here.
Here I am, not understanding how to play one other fucking song.
So, my notes here say that it is easy to confuse a horse face or an emu face, and I'm here to tell you that that is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, no.
No, they're the same.
No, I don't, John. One's
Emus are just the horses of birds.
No, if anything, it's an ostrich.
Yeah.
They're the same
Ostrich
thing.
big.
I think
No.
they're the same
Horse
thing.
also lay big egg.
They're the same thing.
No,
Yep.
Sam, that's not how that works.
Horse
That's why it's
also
called.
burrows.
Why it's called Western pleasure riding. It's because they please themselves with big eggs
Stop!
on the way out of the clitoris.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, the clitoris is where the horse gives birth from.
I'm gonna have so many moral dilemmas editing this episode.
I feel like that one's just going to offend horses.
That's also not how vaginal birth works.
No shit. It's called comedy. You fucking. You fucking.
You
Right?
fucking giant jellyfish. With large ears, small trucks, and elongated maned necks.
Wait,
You say
no.
trucks?
Yeah, you said truck.
I know.
They have
Small
trucks. They're just rolling around in a Ford Ranger.
Yeah. No, it's like one of the plastic ones that you give to children.
It's a play for something that's 15 feet long.
Yeah.
That's true.
Two
Anyways,
small trucks on its face. Glued there is a Aboriginal people prank.
Hot Wheels cars just
Oh, now I just
they get
picture he's got Heelys on his face. He's rolling down like the supermarket on his face.
Girl, I like that.
That's a beast of the week.
That's me.
with a head like a horse or an emu, which
Sam's Heelys hat.
we know are not easy to confuse, large ears, small tusks, elongated maned necks that are 3 feet long, with many folds of skin like a head of foreskin. So
Oh my god.
When I realized you were the one reading it, I got so excited because once again, I know you're my Ron Burgundy.
Oh my god.
Just say like a skin sweater.
So natural. I didn't even read the second one.
A fleshel neck. You know, when you don't have your fucking bris, you just call it a fleshel neck.
Does still sound kind of Jewish.
with many folds of skin, like a head foreskin.
You
So
don't actually have to say
More
that.
attractive and
No,
fleshy.
she's keeping it in.
Oh my god.
Keeping the head foreskin.
There we go.
With 4 legs and 3-toed feet and a horse-like tail.
Since these descriptions are kind of all over the place, a lot of you might be wondering what the closest consensus is. Consensi?
I think the closest consensus is a horse had sex with a water-dwelling emu.
Oh, ouch.
A horse head sex.
A horse had sex.
Oh no.
Horse head sex.
The descent.
A horse head sex to an emu.
I picture myself sitting there next week just so frustrated right when this part starts. They'll be like, man, this was a good episode. I forgot. And it's like,
No, it's still a good episode.
No,
It's just
yes.
funnier.
My stomach hurts from laughing too hard.
You need to work them abs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Come on, your diaphragm should handle this.
I know.
yeah, it's true.
Joey, how's your diaphragm?
Hoofed feet,
Diaphragm.
flippers,
You're reading it all
Shut
wrong.
crocodiles,
Come on. Put some umph into it,
the
Joey.
bunyip.
Put your wang into it.
You were saying this. You were saying this like a man with no soul. Say it with a man with at least half of one.
I have half of a soul.
Sing the
Not
blues
yours,
of this
though.
of these notes.
Yeah, so this thing has a lot of weird descriptions of it, but, so kindly, yeah, gone through all of them and found some patterns in this. He's great at finding these patterns. So the strange ones that are not in there, there's hoof feet flippers, someone that had said it was a fearsome starfish, but the ones that are agreed upon are generally being the size of several dogs put together, not a larger animal, just several dogs. It's easier to conceptualize that way.
Is this like several dogs like standing on top of each other, or several dogs like?
No, they
Like-
it's,
Some say it's barreled together.
it's
but
like a
they're
megazord of dogs.
Oh,
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
One dog's
What a
the arm.
megazord of dogs. Call it mega dogs.
Mega dog.
You say that now, but you don't know what this megazord of dogs is capable of.
Oh, it probably poops a
Yeah,
lot.
there's literally a fucking dinosaur that it could be linked to. So don't make mega assumptions.
Sounded very aggressive.
You don't know what
He
you're
was.
fucking
He
with
wants you to
here.
remember.
Yeah.
This thing also is covered in gray or black shaggy fur, kind of like a bunch of dogs put together, with tusks and sharp teeth. It's got 4 legs and the 3-toe feet. The tracks have been compared to an emu's. I thought that said
God
anus
damn
at
it,
first. When I
this
looked at it
again.
quickly. I was like, what?
The fucking
It does
emu.
look like anus, doesn't
Yeah.
it, when it's written like...
I was like, wow, that's a weird looking track. It's got big ears and vaguely canine features, like a bunch of dogs being stacked together, but mixed with more aquatic stuff like the crocodiles.
I don't think that's how vaguely canine was supposed to be interpreted. It's
I don't know
not
about that.
7 dogs on top of each other.
made
This
it-
isn't fucking.
The notes made it very clear that it's the size of
7
several
dogs in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm getting
Exactly.
at here.
Yeah. Sam,
All
get
right,
with
guys.
the picture.
All right.
That's why it's vaguely canine.
So this is the point we usually go into what this thing does, but because of the wild variation of stories, we're going to let the stories speak for themselves a bit. Some give it a more supernatural bend. Others analyze it closer to a real animal, like the cool science nerds who study fun animals. So first things first, the supernatural bunyip. According to A Field Guide to Demons by Carol and Dinah Mack, the bunyip is a creature of ruthless supernatural ability. Among its traits, the book lists that the bunyip stays in the water and will seize any of those who enter its territory. It's very territorial, you see. However, it doesn't eat them right away. Instead, it enslaves them and then eats them when it's done and they can't work anymore, which seems kind of counterintuitive to only eat them after they're emaciated and overworked.
Maybe they just have a lot of shit to do. They need help.
Yeah, maybe they.
How much shit does the bunyip have to do?
Whatever.
A lot. They're very overworked and stressed.
Hey, they're very territorial.
That's true. They got to
Well,
mark.
I will say Lake George is not a hospitable area.
But what does it have to do? Build roads for them?
Yeah.
They gotta work. They gotta get all the bass. All the bass.
Does the bunyip just live like a cryptid king, not doing a thing?
Yes.
There are several cryptids that do. So
That's true. Good point. So even if you manage to escape the bunyip, it maintains a major supernatural claim over you, causing death or major misfortune at some point down the line.
Ooh, so worse than death.
Yeah, it could, turn your dick into a fish.
Shit. Did you even know that it is said to control floods or drought, depending on what it's feeling for that day?
That's interesting.
It's moody.
So I I did think this was pertinent because Lake George, one of the places that you said the bunyip might inhabit, is either often completely dry or so full that it is about to flood over the nearby highway.
There's actually I don't know if Lake George is one, but I read about this is an Australian term for a body of water called a billabong, which I thought was just a bathing suit brand. I was wrong.
Same.
A billabong is basically like one of those lakes that it's a river, and then the river dries up to a point where now this is just a separate body of water, like a lagoon, but that's for the ocean.
Interesting.
Damn.
It's a river, and bunyips are said to live in billabongs, which
Ooh, the bunyip billabong.
I will say indicates a migratory behavior.
It's true. It's true.
But as Sam...
But I want to say.
Oh, no. But it is... It is important that we do have some stories about the supernatural bunyip. These aren't exactly sightings, but they're age-old fables full of fun. Once upon a time,
Yep.
a group of young men, adult boys, disappeared on a hunt.
Ooh.
A search revealed that...
adult boys.
Yeah, young men
Adult boys,
are adult
also
boys.
called men.
No,
You know
young
them,
men.
like Sam and John and Joe.
Yeah, what are we other than adult boys?
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
So these adult boys were hosting
All right,
a podcast.
Okay, hold up, though. If I'm an adult boy, that makes Tori a youthful pedophile. a child pedophile.
No, you've just been
No.
playing doctor for like 3 years now, I think it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, like
Almost
playing doctor
4.
for like a year.
Yeah. Oh, you were pure for 2 of those.
Yeah,
Knew it.
but continue. Sorry to interrupt.
A group of adult boys disappeared one day while out on a hunt. A search revealed that their footprints reached toward a nearby billabong. That's the reason I brought it up. But stopped suddenly at the water's edge. Assuming these grown lads were eaten by crocs, the people began avoiding the lagoon. However, this water was a major source of food, so they couldn't do this for long because they started to starve. They still feared it, so one of the locals, a village elder, didn't trust that crocodiles were responsible for the death of these boys, as was said. Instead, he went home to look into his magic glass for answers. I too look into a glass for answers.
That's alcohol, though.
Yeah.
It's not. All right.
Look, they didn't say what made his glass magical.
True.
It's not on the record. In this magic glass, he saw these men trapped in a cave on the other side of the water. This brave old man ventured out to find them and noticed strange tracks on the shore. When he followed them, he saw 2 of these bunyips out cavorting and capering since there's nothing that he can do about it. So what's he going to do?
The fuck you gonna do about it, old man?
Fine him.
What the bunyip are you gonna do?
There's no
Hey.
tickets for being a bunyip like that.
There's no
Hey, old
bunyips
man.
for having tickets. Like,
There's no governing body over them.
you don't know that.
Hey, old man, I see you across the street. What you gonna fucking do, huh? We're a couple of Australian bunyips. You wanna fucking fight us, kid?
You fell
man.
down making pasta.
You fucking asshole. You fucking rolled down the goddamn stairs like a fucking jackalope. You fucking idiot. Jesus Christ.
Jack-o'-lantern.
Anyways,
Jesus Christ.
That was like that was a crazy array of accents right there,
we were all over the place, all over the world.
all over the red. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so cultured that I can't do a concise accent. So I'll just put that out there.
Hey, good for you, man.
Whatever helps you sleep.
I've been studying a lot of cultures.
Stay woke, man.
Check this one, Kilimanjaro.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Whoa.
You know what? I'm sorry I was
Really
kind of
makes
a
you
dick
think.
right there, dude. Yeah, no, that was pretty cultured.
Yeah.
All
Impressive.
right, check this one out. Argentina.
Okay, now I know he's lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
That was
revealed yourself.
all right, Sam.
You're
Never
trying to
mind.
exploit our feelings.
Think about that one.
I did.
We already did. Didn't like
go
it.
well.
Didn't like it.
That's already left.
Anyways, the bunyips noticed the elder and chased him into a cave. The very one he saw in his vision. The missing fellas and all. Still, word is all get out. He tells them, "Don't fear. I have a stick." He then
Really makes you think.
Sticks really make it all work.
Makes you think.
He began tapping his magic stick on the ground, which must have been really loud because his friends heard it through the ground nearby. They somehow tunneled into the cave in short order, through the ground, up, down into the ground, sideways, and then up into the cave. They were playing Dig Dug. And they saved the prisoners.
Apparently.
When the prisoners, no longer prisoners, returned to the village, they sang songs for drought. They did their praying. The billabong dried up. Then they sang for rain, filling it back up again because they're no fools. They want that water. Afterwards, they found the bodies of dead crocodiles just everywhere. Apparently, there was more alligators than water, or crocodiles. Same thing. There's most of
the water is crocodiles in a puddle.
Yes.
That's how Australia works.
There's about an inch of water in Australia as a whole.
Wow.
It's just alligators and crocs and kangaroos.
I've seen kangaroo jack, so that checks.
Yeah. I think the wild thornberries covered it.
Crocodile
Yep,
Dundee.
they did too. Both.
But they saw all these bodies and skeletons of crocodiles all over, but there was no sign of the bunyips.
Well, it's an interesting story.
Thank you.
I
wrote
very
it myself.
interesting. It was pretty good. But what about the part with the man with the teeth?
The man with the teeth, eh? What?
I feel like every good story starts off with a man with no teeth and ends with a man with a lot of teeth.
Because he collected them.
Is this scary stories to tell in the dark?
Yes, it always is. But no, I do have one other scary story to tell in the New Wales? I don't know.
What?
What?
The Outback
is that a
Steakhouse.
place?
Yeah, it is a place.
I have one more story to tell you about the Bloomin' Onion. A bunch of good buds were out fishing one day, slinging that nice hook.
Yeah, I love slinging hook.
Yeah.
Slinging, as they say out
sling some hook.
In the Outback. Hey, you want to sling some hook? And then they go fishing for Nemo. And
7 whole days in a row.
This whole episode
One of
reminds
these
me of
guys-
the episode when the Simpsons go to Australia so Bart can get kicked in the butt by Parliament.
It's almost like the episode where the Simpsons go to Boston so Homer can get kicked in the butt by
Mayor,
Duncan's.
yeah.
That happened in that episode.
Yeah, no, I know it. The first part did. So a bunch of good buds out fishing, slinging hook, throwing that type
Slinging
wire,
a good hook.
and one of the guys got the catch of a lifetime. So nothing you could ever believe. It's bigger than several
Dogs.
bass. Yeah, dogs. Couldn't pull it up. His friends helped, and they landed a tree. Now, a second friend decides that he also had the catch of a lifetime. And his friends help out again. And what is it? It's not a tree. It's a little baby bunyip.
Oh no!
A bunyippy.
bunyip?
Now, none of these fellas had ever seen a bunyip, so they all thought it was a bass. Later on, they were convinced it was a bunyip. The guy who landed it wanted to give it to his goth girlfriend as a present to show how...
Way to just trail over the important part.
No. What do you mean?
The important part.
Oh, big titty?
Yeah.
This you have to read the whole thing.
It's assumed. It's assumed.
No, it's not. That's why it's
No,
special.
this is how we get through to the youth.
That's why the big titty part of the goth GF is special.
You gotta read the whole thing verbatim.
All right. So the guy that landed it wanted to give it to his big titty goth Joey as a present to show how thick his Foamy the Squirrel collection was. But when he hoisted the small boy creature onto his shoulders, so small, so boy, its mum surfaced and gave him the meanest, this isn't sales look you ever done saw. It's that same look where you've been riding in a car for 7 hours since 2002 and you say, my Walkman ran out of batteries, and your mom just turns around just being like, shut the fuck up, trying to go to the beach.
But Mom, how will I listen to Incubus?
How else will I listen to Limp Bizkit, Mom?
And then you spend the rest of the drive telling her how the lyrics relate to your life, line by line.
As she's trying to listen to the fucking zombies. So, they walked home. They still kept the baby because they were like,
Assholes.
fuck you, Mom. After that, though, a massive flood followed, and the boy abandoned his delicious, succulent loot. His bunyip loot. But, even though the sacrifice had been made, the waters continue to rise. and they filled with blood, as a plague of locusts drank all of the delicious plants out of Australia.
Is it improv if this is just a vaguely adapted Bible story?
He ran to his goth girlfriend to save her, because this was, I don't know what time this was, but definitely in Australia, original goths. Finding her in a tree in a delicious Invader Zim hoodie, as the area was washed away by the deluge. He found her treed like a frightened bear, or as they have in Australia, a koala. And he climbed to save her because getting her out of the tree was such a good idea when there's floodwaters everywhere else, as if the tree was not the righteous goth decision.
The tree was the danger.
Now, if there's one thing I know about goths, they hate sun. Already a bad idea to be in Australia, but what can you do? But water? That's one way to kill a goth. Any water, not holy water. That's a demon.
Yeah.
Regular goth, regular water.
Witches.
However, as he climbed, his feet grew cold. He looked down to discover his feet were talons, and his arms were wings. He looked up to his betrothed, and his goth girlfriend was a black swan. He looked down. His friends were also black swans. He looked inward. He was a black swan.
What?
What the fuck?
This is a way better version than the dance thing.
Right. This is what I thought I was going to see. And then Natalie Portman.
There was Mila Kunis there, I think.
Was that who I was thinking? It was both of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah. The mother Bunyip retrieved her prodigal son, who apparently can survive very long outside of water.
They're not fish.
And the floodwaters receded. I know they're not fish. It's just, it seemed like it was a long time. Australia is big. None of these people ever stopped being swans, though. And now, think about this. Let this sit in for a minute. All right? Let's meditate.
Okay.
They never stopped being swans. So you know what that means?
No, what does it mean?
Never people again.
What a nightmare.
What a nightmare. This is really just a fucking Goosebumps.
I would watch the
is just-
shit out of this Goosebumps episode.
Literally a Goosebumps episode, I think. It's like my friend was a dog or some shit.
What a series.
Yeah, goddamn, RL. You really fucking spooked me a couple times.
How did anyone know this story if they turned into swans?
Because the people who moved there next had a great fear and respect for the...
If you shove a pen down a swan's throat, the swan will write you a poem. That is swan lore.
How many birds do you try this on first before it worked?
Mostly hunter.
What's your cat right?
And, gibberish, which is pretty much a poem to me.
I'm pretty sure that's how it'd speak anyway, so it might actually be his autobiography.
If I take one of them big ass Sharpies and just jam it down there, I'm gonna get some Robert Frost. I swear to fucking God.
You definitely took the path less traveled.
Yeah, I know. Robert. Robert.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry to all the Roberts out there for Sam.
I'm sorry for all the Sams out there for Sam.
Don't feel sorry, Toria. Every other Sam than me is a fucking hobbit. I am a full 7 inches taller than a hobbit.
Is that
Touché.
that's defined?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like lore.
Yeah, it's lore. I'm only slightly taller than a hobbit and slightly shorter than every fucking person in the world.
According to the Max, there's nothing you can do once you piss off a bunyip, since it is pretty much just the embodiment of how nature will fuck you up and just keep on fucking you up.
Now, we get to go and talk about my boy, Lauren Coleman, cryptozoologist extraordinaire, in his fantastic guide, Cryptozoology A to Z. He has some beef with this. He says... Cryptozoologists find no basis in fact for the aggressive behavior traits attributed to the bunyip. So, what do the science nerds have to say about the bunyip?
Started off Science Nerd 1.
Now, as we mentioned, the stories of the bunyip range vastly. So now we're going to recount some stories here, and we're going to rate them on their bullshit level. Let me set the scene. July 1801. On the French...
Lord, it's so hot.
Thank you.
Setting the scene.
Thanks.
I'm immersed.
It's so hot we have not quite discovered sunscreen.
They're French.
Spielberg himself could not have better exposition than that.
Oh Lord, it's so hot. Le hotness de le son is so le hot.
On the French expedition, Le Géographie,
Le geograph.
mineralologist,
Le fafa.
mineralogist, Joseph Charles Bailey.
Can you read?
No.
She can. None of us can.
Mineralogist Joseph Charles Bailey reported a strange bellow of a large animal in the Swan River of Western Australia. The call of the bunyip is its calling card. Its yell is said to be repetitive and carry for miles.
And we'll give you an awesome LinkedIn page.
Pokemon?
No, Yelp.
True calling card.
From?
It
Gives you a Yelp, so it tells you all about
Trust them.
Maccas.
They call Burger King Hungry Jacks, and that sounds more appealing to me. Yeah.
Hungry Jacks. Yeah,
I'd go to Hungry
a
Jacks
fucking
way
Hungry
sooner
Jacks.
than Burger King is so condescending.
You're not the king of bullshit.
Yeah.
Not since you got rid of cheese fries.
But you know who I trust to get me a good meal? Hungry Jack.
Hungry Jack's gonna fill you up with ribs.
He's like his name implies like when you order when you're hungry and all of a sudden you have a bag show up to your door and you got all the rangoons.
He's gonna fill you all so full up a brisket.
Not this voice again.
Bullshit level 1 to 10.
I call big bullshit.
Okay, why?
Yeah, that one's just a fucking yell.
It's just a bellow.
Yeah, that's why I say it's true because as far as their setting goes, they definitely
Well,
did
the
that.
call of the bunyip is its
No, but what I'm saying
Calling
is that
card.
it could be any animal.
Yeah, so it might
Yes,
as well
and
be the bunyip.
counterfact. Have you ever heard of the Australian bittern?
Have you?
I have. It bellows loudly like a hoom.
That
It
just
carries-
sounded like a goose.
Yes, it's.
Are you
it's a
going
bird. It just-
entirely off his vocalization as the bird
Yeah.
sound?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm a perfect bird.
Perfect bird.
So the Australian bittern does bellow as well. So it is very possible that our good friend Joseph Charles Bailey reported not a bunyip, but an Australian bittern.
You know what? That's fair, but I'm giving this a 10 because they definitely heard a bellow.
They heard a
How-
bellow,
how-
but there's
One.
How-
no
we rating
no visual sighting. Nope, I'm not on it.
Yeah, say bullshit.
Definitely happened.
John, do you want to explain?
Do you want
Yeah.
to explain what that means?
John, do you want to explain?
He yelled. Something yelled.
Something yelled.
Yeah, might as well be the bunyip.
Could you re-describe this kind of yell? Because you're such an expert.
It went. You could only hear it in the distance.
Okay. So give me some distance. Oh shit! That's a bunyip.
Yeah.
Toria, hold me. Oh my god, that's a bunyip.
Yeah, no, that's 10 for 10. That's a bunyip.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm gonna flip flop on you right now. That's not a bird. That's a bunyip at work.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys. Now flash forward 17 years. If you're over 17, it's easier. Hamilton
Yes.
Hume and James Meehan found skulls and bone fragments of an amphibious animal the day after discovering Lake Bathurst, which, if you'll remember, is one of the hot spots. Someone will throw it out? Let's go. Come on.
5.
5? Okay.
5.
I haven't seen a picture of these bones.
Um,
That's it.
0.
Why?
A lot of bones are found. People don't know what they are. We don't even know if these were what
There's
dinosaurs
a lot of bones
looked
out
like,
there.
All right? A lot of bones.
A true skeptic. A lot of bones.
Lots of bones.
Lots of bones in the world.
Giving this one a 10.
10.
10.
And why is that, John? What did the bones say to you?
They looked at They looked at me and they went, "How can it be?" There's gotta be enough.
Shit. He's got it.
Oh,
He's got it again.
Giving it a 10, you know? Colin Hay doesn't lie, and he's Australian.
But Hamilton Hume might.
Nah, he's got no reason to.
He's dead. So you're right. You're right. Dead people don't lie.
Dead people have never once lied. Dead men,
I'm gonna get. All right, John.
yeah,
You got me. I'm gonna give you my vote.
should be a lawyer.
2 out of 10.
Let's do it. All right.
2 out of 10. Still a lie.
All right, so let's talk about Edward Smith Hall.
That ESH.
Esh, as his friends called him.
I hope
MC
so.
Escher.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm sure Esh might mean ass in Armenian.
Really?
Oh, fuck. The Armenians are going to be giggling their tits off.
Toria, Armenia is nothing to Australia. It's a completely different place.
Good call.
One is System of a Down, the other is Men at Work. Different bands.
Very different.
Whoa.
Very different bands.
Why'd you have to go and make the tables?
Because I gotta turn them.
Turned.
Wow.
Yep.
Here we go.
Edward Smith Hall was the first colonist to sight a bunyip, and he saw one on 2 occasions in November 1821 and December 1822, seeing both long-necked and the seal dog varieties in Lake Bathurst.
So he saw 2 different fucking animals.
You saw the different bunyips, Sam. 10 out of 10.
Hey, he saw 2 bunyips. In November of 21,
10 out of 10.
he saw a black bunyip with a bulldog's head thrashing in the water for about 5 minutes.
All right, someone tell me what that would be other than a magic boy.
A seal.
They don't have bulldogs' faces.
They come pretty fucking close.
They kind of do.
Bulldogs have come a long way since 1821. They could have looked like a different kind of bulldog.
They look like seals?
Yeah.
True. They could have looked like
We really
seals.
fucked those
I know,
up.
like,
Oh, yeah.
ancient pugs had, like, a long nose.
Wow.
Yeah, we just squished them big.
You know, the thing is, I have actually seen a picture of an old pug, and they were too smug. We fixed them. That's why we called them pug. They used to be called smugs, and we're like, we're gonna take this fucker down a notch.
What's this thing, this Australian bullshit? This is a smug. Fuck this, I'm from England.
This guy's just so strange. So in the next year later, in 1822, he went for a dip in the eastern end of Lake Bathurst. Might I add, December is also the summertime there.
Yeah, it's normal to go swimming then.
Yeah. Sam.
Yes. What?
Well, while he was drying his moist, toned bod, he saw a 3-foot-long black head and neck swimming along the surface for about 300 yards before it submerged.
Can I get that in metric as it was meant to be from the Australians?
Yeah, it's like 1,000 metrics.
Yeah.
10,000 pesos, I got you.
About.
Math works out. That's the conversion rate.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's
700 New Zealand dollars.
all right. So, what do you think on this one? Bullshit. 1 to 10.
This one, I'll give it a 5, actually, because he saw something twice.
I'm gonna give this one a fucking 1.
Whoa. Easy. You can't take words like that back.
I mean, 1 as in the fact that this guy thought he saw 2 different species of a cryptid within a year apart. It was just like, yeah, 2 different ones. I know, right? I didn't know what I was fucking looking at.
Maybe it was the same one and it grows its neck around 19.
2 bunyips. No.
There's no such thing as seals.
I think it could have been.
Give it a 3.
I think it could have been.
Especially in the
Bullshit.
same fucking lake.
10 out of 10.
John, tell me why.
You saw both of them.
Can you give me a story that might make me think of giving it something over 5?
Yes. Well, so you're a guy. You're a guy.
Yeah.
You make your home on a nice lake. First year there, you see a critter with a face it's not supposed to have thrashing in the water. Now, thrashing is different than gracefully leaping through the water like something that naturally belongs there. This thing got thrown in by its dad into the deep end, sink or swim, Jimmy, and then he swigged at his Bud Light Orange, and
Ew.
it struggled. And this guy said, "You know what? Cool." And like a true Australian, he continued to live near this terrifying creature. And next year, back at it again, swimming up in the summer December. And what should he come across as he's drying off his nice toned bod? A mammalian Loch Ness monster. Is this a man who lies?
Okay.
This is an honest man. He's a guy who says, there's weird things here, and I'm still going to swim. Good character. Good character.
4.
Are you sure?
Yes.
4 out of 10.
I've never...
If I saw the fucking Loch Ness monster, I would not continue swimming.
We don't have any stories about him after.
That's because he got eaten.
We've never once heard about his swimming tales after.
You can't wait for him to... No, he wouldn't tell the tale if he was dead.
Unless he got killed after because he pissed the bunyip off.
I'm assuming he got killed after somehow. I can't definitively say.
Maybe he's still alive. We should look him up in the yellow pages.
All right, put that on the list. That's a future Patreon episode.
Put that in the letter.
Yeah, put it in the letter.
We go to Australia to find this person.
Yeah.
His grave.
Well,
Dig
at
it
Lake
up.
Bathurst.
Dig it up.
Send us your money so we can go on a conquest against the bunyip.
Against?
Oh, yeah, no. This isn't a preservation mission.
Oh.
This
We're
is an
gonna hunt
invasive species.
Why is it invasive?
Yep.
Why is it invasive?
You got it.
All right. Well, John. Because you seem so keen without any kind of bias towards the Bunyip.
Yeah.
Bunyip.
Bun lips.
I'm an unbiased
The Bunyip.
host.
Bunyip. Let me
I'm a fair
give something.
narrator.
What did you just call me? I don't speak Italian.
I am a fair,
Joey, what did he say?
reliable
I'm not Italian either.
narrator.
What the fuck? Useless. Now, if you guys want something a little bit more concrete, a folk named Athol Fletcher, love that last name,
Good name.
found a fresh skull along the Murrumbidgee River.
Are you saying the skull was concrete?
No, I'm saying this is one of the, better accounts.
Also, what constitutes a fresh skull?
How much brain?
Delicious.
Clean
You
out
can
the
still
bod.
make a nice stock.
Not bleached by the sun?
Yeah?
Okay.
Like my
okay.
body.
That last one's probably right. Yeah, ours are bad. On top of the cranium, front of the snoot, and the lower jaw were all missing. So you don't have like that good frontal.
Yeah.
You don't have that nose bridge. You don't have that lower jaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
All gone. The eye sockets were abnormally close to the upper jaw, so like very low set.
Yeah, like Joey's.
Oh yeah, sure. No other bones were present. There was no skeleton, no nothing, no rib cage, no humerus, no pelvis,
Yeah, that sounds pretty humorous.
no toes.
Was there a femur?
There was a skull.
0 out of 10.
I'm looking at the bones right now. There's bones. There's bones, but what was that last word you said?
Femur.
No.
0 out of 10.
There was no femur. There was no femur. Now, a bunch of nerds looked at it and talked about Battlestar Galactica the whole time. And they said it was an unknown animal skull, likely of a fetus.
Ooh.
But it must have been a gigantic fucking fetus.
Some fetuses are big, man. 14-pound babies.
That's
Pretty heavy.
that's like average cat size. That's not a big.
Yeah, it's Arthur-sized.
I can take Hunter's head and put it in my palm
Okay.
when I want to throw him at the wall.
Yeah.
Now, the real science nerds, the real ones that were talking about Carl Sagan and not Battlestar Galactica, said it was definitely a deformed horse or calf. Interestingly, though, this undeniable proof of science being wrong has disappeared from the Australian Museum in Sydney. So any kind of proof saying that this is incorrect, absolutely obliterated.
0 out of 10.
You think this is 0 out of 10?
No other bones.
So it's very bullshit.
Yeah. There wasn't even a skull.
No, there was a skull.
This guy was drunk and found a tennis ball.
No, there was a skull.
You can think what you want. But once you take those lids off your eyes, once you wake up,
All right, let me grab my knife.
once you realize what's at stake here, Sam.
Oh, God.
Good. Are they off?
Yeah, they're gone. It hurts.
Now you're awake.
I can't blink.
Good. No, you're not going to be able to. You can't blink, and you can absorb all the truth in the world. No skull.
Oh, John, I don't believe you. I'm seeing right now with my big, fresh new eyes, skull directly on the page in front of me.
Oh, damn. Shit.
Yeah, you fucked that one up, huh? Idiot.
Probably should have gotten rid of my eyelids.
Yeah. Hey, John, do you want to get rid of... Joey, get towards his eyelids. Just get close. Now take them off.
Whose? Me take his?
John's. Yeah, take John's on off. Take John's eyelids off. Like the pickles you don't want on our hamburger.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Skulls.
Okay, all right. So this one's real. Skull's real.
All right.
Skull's real, just like the Misfits song.
10 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Your ratings
Yeah,
are
that's one.
unreasonably reasonable.
I give this one a 2.
2?
It looked like an animal.
It is an animal.
Yeah, that's true. Shit. I'm back up to a 6.
There we go. All right, come to daddy. Since 1846, there have been a smattering of reports, and the godfather of cryptozoology, someone who has been dangerously unrepresented on the show, Bernard Heuvelmans, stated in his incredible book, On the Track of Unknown Animals, that sightings have occurred into Tanzania until 1932 near the hydroelectric dams. In 1890, the Melbourne Zoo launched a fruitless expedition to capture a bunyip. They couldn't get it because he's too good. Sightings of the short-necked variety have been sparse in recent years, with most being too vague or too over the top to be considered genuine. Meanwhile, sightings of the long-necked bunyip haven't occurred since the 1800s. At the very least, it remains as a fun and interesting intro to Aboriginal legends, which are fascinating to dig into. I read a lot over the last few weeks. Check it out. They're pretty cool.
Some possible explanations for this bunyip could be seals seen irregularly but not unheard of in these waters. The calls could be that of the brown bittern, which Sam mentioned earlier, which is a bird that lives in the same regions and has even been nicknamed the bunyip bird. The musk duck was officially claimed to be responsible for a sighting in 1960.
I don't know
Murray-
how. I haven't figured out how it was responsible.
Yeah, that's odd.
Sam, look up how big the musk duck is. If it's up to 15 feet, we're good. You don't actually have to look it up.
Well, I mean, it did say
On it.
5, so if it was like 5 feet.
That's still pretty big.
Maybe.
That's like an albatross.
No, too small.
Dang, it's not a musk duck.
Too small. Too small for a musk duck.
They were wrong. Take that, science.
The Murray cod, which is a local species that can grow up to 5 feet. Plausible. Fair.
Yep.
Or a saltwater crocodile, which are most prevalent in the north. It could have been mythicized as the stories traveled south. Mythicized.
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 It could also be, I mean, we said seals are out of the picture.
Yes.
But
Except,
what about
what about
We
the
did say that they were out of the picture.
long-necked seal with
You want to say it for me, John?
the long-necked seal with the long neck similar to that of a horse or a camel's? Thoughts?
It probably is.
Honestly, yes. I think we found the biggest contender for the long-necked seal.
I feel like the long-necked seal, actually, let's flip it, is the biggest contender for everything.
Every mildly aquatic thing, yeah.
Long-necked seal.
Seals all the way down.
We just got to find it.
Seals all the way up.
I think so.
Now, it could be, and because we did talk about seals, there is the Australian sea lion,
Okay.
which has been known to attack humans.
That's true.
Now, that makes it a little bit difficult, at least around Lake George. It's an endothermic lake, so it doesn't feed into anything else. It depends entirely on rainwater.
Oh, really?
I believe, yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Australians mention it in the comments, but I think that's the reason why it dries up so easily.
Right.
Is that there's nothing feeding into it. There's no mountain or anything.
It's like a seasonal lake.
It's just... Exactly. There's also the southern cassowary, which is a bird that has large talons. It's also pretty large, hence the talons.
Those are like the mean emus, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really look like a bird. It just kind of looks like a pissed old man with bird features.
So an old man.
It's not great. I hate it. I hate it so much. I took up one picture, I threw up all over my keyboard. And the thing is that there's so many poisonous things in Australia. This thing, though, is not. I hate it. But, now here's the crux of the matter. If we can suggest that, say, Nessie or Bigfoots are a remnant of an ancient time, what about the Diprotodon, which is an ancient marsupial mammal that looks
like the thing that finds out I'm like tangentially into Yu-Gi-Oh! And starts talking about like deep lore of the anime.
That's fucking like drowsy right there.
It is like drowsy.
That's a different cryptid, though.
Yes. The thing's asking to play games on your phone.
I mean,
Good
that's
dog.
almost vaguely like the picture at the beginning of our notes of the bunyip.
Yeah, that's a real ass fucking animal that did exist.
It looks like a bear that needs headgear.
Yeah.
That's just a nerd bear.
It does look like a nerd bear, but it's kind of got that little bit more elongated neck.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's the Diprotodon. For all those looking out there to look at this up, it is Diprotodon. It's an ancient marsupial / mammal that fits the description of the bunyip pretty well.
I'll go ahead and say that's a possibility.
It's not like mammals don't hang out in water. We do all the time.
Are you going splishy splash? I would say, yeah, especially with those sightings petering out for, after a point, it makes sense. Remnants.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right, I'm on board with that.
I would say that's one of the more accurate to the aesthetic of the bunyip, but least plausible.
That's true.
But still at anything plausible.
Oh, But to,
Sea line's boring.
before we wrap it up, I actually found an old song from Australia about the bunyip, which is like very eerie and spooky, but
I listen to that. It's fucking terrible.
it sounds like something I'd probably listen to. So I'm just gonna put a snippet in here just because everyone should go look it up. It's a fun spooky song. It definitely fits the bunyip vibe.
Oh, the bunyip's very bad, and the bunyip's very bold, and they tell me that the bunyip's now 1,000 years old. So you better come home quickly, and you better hide very soon, or the bunyip's going to get you in the
I personally hate it.
I love the animation was spooky.
It's spooky as shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a good vibe of be scared. I love a good cryptid song. That's all.
So I think it is possible that in a place like the size of Lake George that the bunyip could exist. The only reason why I have a problem with it is that you would deem to find bunyip around the area in local water sources nearby. Because if the bunyip does need water, it's not going to survive in that kind of environment where the lake can dry up. But because we have seen the water level of Lake George go down over the recent years, as well as the fact that bunyip sightings have fallen, that might be a correlation.
Okay.
And at that, I absolutely don't think it's seal.
Yeah.
That's just a no-go for me, especially if these are the regions that it's seen near. I go with Lake George all the way. I don't see it happening. It could be this prehistoric monster that has died out since then. Or, like I said before, it could be something still exists that correlates with the water levels.
I'm on board with
And
a lot
that's
of that. All right.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I don't know, I'm torn because I agree with what Sam was saying, but I don't know how sure I am to completely rule out the possibility of it being seals.
Why is that?
I don't know, I feel like it just makes sense for it to be seals. Seals maybe like a shadow in the water, like with the sun could make it look longer.
All right.
A deformed seal. I don't know.
All right. I
don't
hear
know.
what you're saying with that one.
In an endothermic lake?
Could be like a relative of a seal, like not actually a seal.
What would it do when the lake dried up?
I don't know.
All right.
I have no idea.
Fair enough.
It's an interesting creature because I do want it to be real. I don't think that there's anything to support why it should be real, but I think my final thought on this is that mostly record the show to suspend my belief in what's real and not real, and I think that generally the truth is stupid, so I think this thing's out there.
All right.
I think it's out there, and, you know, we've had a lot crazier ones in here. I like to think that if it's supernatural, that's pretty cool, but seeing, like, a weird-looking beast like that roaming around, I mean, most of Australia still hasn't even been, like, researched yet.
That's true.
It's still widely unpopulated. You know, there's only, like, the two cities. They have Sydney and not Sydney.
Yeah, you got the whole outback that's just, like, nothing.
There's that Melbourne place.
Melbourne is still very much populated.
No, but that's it. That's it.
No, you make a good point with that one. It's kind of like the argument with the ocean. Like, you can't say something is definitively not in the ocean because we know so little about it.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of open space. I mean, you get that with a lot of massive countries.
I can fuck
All
with
right,
that.
I'm on board. All right. So as far as my defense goes, I'm going to say as far as I can see, this thing was real. I don't think it is anymore. I think it went extinct. I think we're seeing its dying days when Europeans came to Australia. But this is a continent-wide myth. This isn't like one group of people had this belief in the bunyip. This was all Aboriginal people. You know, I don't want to make such a definitive statement, but by and large, this was a continent-wide myth.
Is it like their Sasquatch?
Kind of, yeah. In a big way, the bunyip, you know, as far like at least in the cryptozoology, is the Australian Bigfoot as far as like celebrity status goes. And I think that, you know, we saw deformed skeletons could be a sign of, you know, you have effectively a miscarriage and a deformed fetus. That could be a sign of genetic, the gene pool's not deep enough.
Just lack of diversity.
Yeah, it's inbreeding as a result. These things died out, 1932 in Tanzania, kind of far from where they were originally talking about.
Although, I will say a lot of animals don't suffer from inbreeding being really like a bad thing.
A lot don't, but some do.
Yeah, mammals.
Yeah,
More
and
likely.
I think this thing would be a mammalian because it's semi-amphibious. It's not, amphibious. It's not reptile. It's got fur. It's a mammal in my book.
Yeah, the fact that we have seen no eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be plausible if there was eggs. Plus fur, definitely a vertebrae. It leads towards mammal.
Yeah.
Or at least semi-mammal, like a platypus.
Yeah, so I think platypus is actually a good example of an Australian animal that has similar attributes. But yeah, overall, I'd say we basically saw the dying days of a species, and now we have a myth surrounding it.
I think that's very fair.
All right, so
I think that's a good message to people to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was inadvertent, so thank you.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good message for people to keep note of what you see. Luckily, nowadays we can document things a little bit easier, but back then we simply couldn't.
Yeah.
So if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, then do your work, get out there, explore the unknown, let the truth be known, even if it is stupid, just keep those eyes open.
Couldn't agree more, and that's a fantastic note to wrap up this show. So, to all you listeners out there, thanks for listening. We are so glad to have your reviews, your comments, and all of that. If we've promised you a sticker, they're coming out shortly, and thanks for listening.
If you have any hometown spooky stories or cryptids, local cryptids, or just suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a story, drop us a line, drop us a name.
Give us some hate mail if you want, whatever. We can take it.
Yeah,
Give Joey some hate mail.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of bad accents.
Everybody tell
So
Joey.
pretty much everybody out there is probably mad at us.
I hope so. I like some
Tell me
controversy
what you
that's
think
not...
about my
I'll-
eyes and my eyelids.
I'll take a brunt of the damage
Yeah, come on.
for Joey.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I don't want him to get all of it, so please give me some.
Tell me how much.
No, don't share it. Don't share it.
Okay, well, if you want it all, then fine.
I'm Joe
Mind your
Glitchy,
business.
I want the hate mail every Wednesday and
and
every
this
other
has
weekend.
been
though.
Beast of the Week podcast.
Follow us on social media. Instagram, Facebook at The Truth is Stupid. Twitter at Truth is Stupid. And listen in next week. I'm John Cannon.
I'm Joe Glitchy.
I'm Sam Harris.
And I'm Toria Ainsworth.
Stay spooky, folks. I love you.
I'm
Stay spooky.
I'm spooky.
Good. You stayed that way.
Hey. I'm spooky.